What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Sohinki channel video where today we're going to be doing a Q&A. Once upon a time on this channel, I did a Q&A and it was supposed to be split up into multiple parts, and then I never released the second part for some reason. Anyway, we're doing a Q&A today. I was like, hey guys, tweet me your questions, and a bunch of you did. Excuse me, had to burp. Alright, first we've got at Godzilla Rex, by the way, Adrian, good friend of mine. We both started making video game videos at the same time. He has a YouTube, youtube.com/Godzilla Rex. It's pretty awesome. He does like martial arts breakdowns of films and video games and stuff. It's pretty cool. Adrian asks, which is your favorite video game of all time? Has it changed in the past few years? Yeah, so it has probably changed since back when we were making videos together. So I think it used to be, my answer always used to be Half-Life, because Half-Life spawned Counter-Strike and a bunch of other games I love, Day of Defeat, like basically all those Half-Life mods. But my favorite game of all time, absolutely 100% now, is The Last of Us. That game is just so good. The storytelling is incredible. Everything about how the game is presented, the gameplay almost doesn't even matter, and the gameplay is like pretty solid as well. Last of Us, definitely favorite game of all time now. And it had a great multiplayer, which was underrated too. I always like include that because the story was incredible, but also it had an incredible multiplayer. How cool is that? So yeah, that is my answer to that question. Thank you for your question, Adrian. So at McQuanis, this is Annika. For those of you that don't know, she works for Crytek and is one of the community managers on Hunt Showdown. She says, what is your favorite game and why is it Hunt Showdown? Actually, right now, one of my favorite games is Hunt Showdown. So you're not too far off. She says, in all seriousness, what is your favorite country you visited and why? So I admittedly am not extremely well traveled, but I will say that, and this isn't just pandering, because you guys are in Germany, I went to Gamescom a few years back for, I went to Cologne, Germany for Gamescom. Cologne, Germany, I think is my favorite place I visited. Just a really cool city. I had a friend that lived in Cologne that was able to like show me around. I actually got lost by myself one night while I was there, just walking around, and I just made a night of it, and I just walked around and enjoyed the city. But yeah, it's a really chill place. The food is good. The people were really nice. So yeah, Cologne, Germany, I guess, is my favorite place I visited. Okay, so at Alex Marza, this isn't really a question, says, please teach me how to do a cool little dance move so I can impress my friends, please. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you how to do a basic arm wave, okay? And so I'm gonna have to try and like do it in the camera here. Okay. This is weird because I'm on green screen and the camera's kind of small. But I'm gonna only show my arm so I can break down my arm. Ready? Okay, so at the very most basic level, the isolations are gonna be, hold on. So you got your wrist, and then you have your elbow, and then you have your shoulder. So when you like connect all three isolations, it's gonna look like this. And I'll do it real slow. Okay, and I kind of did it in a disjointed way. You can smooth it out, and yeah, there you go. I know how to do an arm wave, kinda. At Jade L. Masby says, can we convince you to wear a tutu for Mari and Olivia to teach the Smosh family ballet? Sure? I mean, I would totally be down to learn ballet, and then I guess Mari and Olivia can just dress me however they want. At Jake Tomsk, which is, so Jake Tompkinson says, what would you say was your maddest moment in a Smosh Games video? I can't recall the mad moments because I feel like I tend to only remember the good ones, but I remember before I like turned it into a joke, I was definitely getting pretty upset during that, oh gosh, what are they called? The jelly beans, the like disgusting jelly beans thing for Christmas that we did. Yeah, that was absolutely terrible. I like eventually got over it and then like turned it into more of a joke during the episode, but there was a time when I was like, man, I am just losing and everyone just wants me to lose. So I guess that's my answer, but I don't really remember a lot of the times I got upset. At One Shiny Captain says, do you have any advice for people who know what they want to do but can't get the motivation because of a fear of failing or not being good enough? What I would say to that is, I think what you're describing is something that everyone experiences. I think everyone has a little bit of that. Even the most talented people have that fear that either they're going to fail or they're not going to be good enough. I think especially the second part, the not being good enough, I think so many people can relate to that. And I think when you understand that everyone feels that way, then you also understand that some people, in spite of that, just go for it. So I think that's part of it. You just kind of have to take that leap and just go for it. And then the second part is, and you've heard every single person say this a million times, but failing is not a bad thing, okay? The best people failed the most. And it's such a cliche to say that, but it's just so true. No one gets to where they are without like messing up along the way. It's just whether or not you choose to learn from those mistakes, or whether or not you choose to just ignore them and continue along your own path. And the people that adapt and learn the best are the people that tend to succeed. There's actually a rap lyric by this rapper named Cannabis, and I don't actually know a ton of his songs, but this one song he has that I listen to every now and then, he has a line, and I don't remember the exact line, but it's something like, "A wise man sees failure as progress, a fool divorces his knowledge and misses the logic." And that's really true. You just have to take all of your failures as lessons and use that to push yourself forward. At True Triage, a good friend of mine says, "You've always loved highly skill-based games such as MOBAs where you have to outwit your opponent. Is this because there was a time when your older brother would always win, so you're adopting his role on randos online?" No, I don't think that's where it comes from. I would say my love of multiplayer games definitely comes from the fact that I'm the youngest of three. So a lot of times I was watching my brothers beat the single player, and then I would just have the multiplayer left because I'm like, why would I play the story? I already saw it. But I don't know why I love the feeling of outsmarting people, but I do. That's like my favorite feeling. It's also my least favorite feeling to feel like I was outsmarted. So I think that's sometimes where rage comes from in those games, is I'm like, no, I lost mentally. He was smarter than me, damn it. So, yeah, I don't know where that comes from. Maybe I should talk to someone about that. At Award Goes To says, "Opinions on musical theater. Are there any musicals that you like?" Yeah, I love musical theater. I'm not like a frequent theater goer or anything like that. But some of my favorite musicals of all time are West Side Story. I really like Fiddler on the Roof. These are like a lot of the ones I saw when I was a kid. The Producers is a good one. I saw that like when I was in high school. We visited New York and we got to see The Producers on Broadway. It was pretty cool. So yeah, those are some of my favorites. I like musical theater. At Lily Kendall says, "What's your favorite song to dance to right now?" I tend to like to listen to like hip hop, like old like boom bap style hip hop. There's this one song, it's called like Roots. Here, I'm actually just gonna pull it up. I'll only be able to play like 5 seconds of it. All right, here it is. I don't know, something about that is just so sick. At Stephen Failpow, I always say Failpow as a joke. I actually don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm sorry. Says, "Thoughts on the stock market, JK. What games are you hoping to stream or do gameplays on in the future Facebook live streams? Other than gaming, what other types of content do you want to play around with on Facebook and YouTube?" So first, Last of Us 2 is obviously a huge one that I can't wait to stream and make videos of constantly. I'm probably going to stream it on my Facebook, and then I'm going to end up doing like multiplayer stuff on my YouTube channel. That's my plan anyway. Other than gaming, what other types of content would I want to play around with? I definitely want to do more dance content. That's something that I want to like ramp up a little bit and maybe start making more of a regular thing. And then other than that, I'm not sure. I'm not a big vlogger or anything, but maybe like maybe some more stuff like this, or maybe, I don't know. Mari did that cooking thing that was fun. Could be fun to do like a cooking show. We'll see. At UK Zombie Killer asks, "Any tips for a kid entering the world of adulthood? Anything to help with the constant shitting of myself would be great. Thanks. Lotta love, man." Okay, well, if you're shitting yourself a lot, the first thing you're gonna want to do is go to a toilet. When you're when you're feeling the urge to poop yourself, you should probably find a toilet. No, but in all seriousness, what I would say to you is, don't worry about being an adult so much, okay? Focus on the present, focus on the tasks at hand. You know, the adult stuff's gonna come and you're gonna find that, hey, it's annoying to deal with, and, you know, you'll learn how to deal with it through experience. So just slow down, try not to get too ahead of yourself, and you're gonna be fine. Okay, so at Ross the Boss says, have you considered doing stand-up again? Yeah, I've thought about it. So here's what I'd say about like the stand-up thing. So I am a huge appreciator of stand-up. I follow a lot of stand-up comedians. I love the art of stand-up comedy. I like, to me, stand-up is like this sort of this sacred thing that it's like this bastion of free speech where people can just say whatever they want as long as it's funny. And I love stand-up. I did it a couple times just to see if I could do it. And it felt like, so here's what I would say, is I did it and I felt really good about it. And I was like, I sucked at that, but I felt like it was something I could be really good at if I practiced. So, you know, maybe it's something that I'll explore again in the future. I don't have any burning desire to continue doing stand-up right now, but I am a lover and appreciator of stand-up comedy. And sure, I would love to do it again in the future at some point. I just, you know, it's not something that's currently on the agenda. But thank you for your question. Okay, at B. Craig V, good old B. Craig says, everyone says you look like Steve Buscemi, but the question is, does Steve Buscemi think he looks like you? I don't know, man. Maybe you should go ask Steve Buscemi. All right, can I be real for a second here? Now, people used to be like, you look like Steve Buscemi, and I'd be like, I don't see it at all, that's ridiculous. And then I looked up a picture of young Steve Buscemi, and there is a little bit of a resemblance, and now I hate it. But I will say this, Steve Buscemi is an American hero, so there's definitely worse people to look like. Did you know that he was like helping at Ground Zero during 9/11, just like as a volunteer? Like legit, he's just like an awesome guy. But anyway, I'm I got a little off track there. I don't know. Tweet Steve Buscemi. You ask him. Show him a picture of me, and I'm sure he'll decide. At UglyJK asks, how did you meet the Smosh crew? Well, to be honest, what happened was, me and Lasercorn and Joven were working on a much smaller YouTube channel called Clever Games. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee here. Basically, our bosses came to us one day, and they were like, hey, would you guys like to work with this channel Smosh? And at the time, I was like, who the heck is Smosh? And then they showed us the Zelda rap video. They're like, this is Smosh. And I just happened to have seen that video. I didn't really like watch a ton of YouTube at the time. And I was like, oh, the Zelda rap guys. That's like what I knew them as, because that was like the one video I saw of them. I'm like, oh yeah, those guys that make the Zelda rap. They're like, yeah, they're the biggest channel on YouTube. And I was like, hey, well, sign me up. So yeah, I mean, basically I just got lucky. So they paired us up, but like the cool thing was that when we met, we were just like immediate friends. It was like we had known each other for a long time. So yeah, those were some great times for sure. At MelMoney171 says, what is it like having so many people look up to you? Well, okay, first of all, it's weird. It's weird to me because this is gonna sound so self-deprecating, but I don't mean it like this. It's weird because when I think of what I do, it doesn't feel like something that someone should look up to necessarily. So like, when people tell me they look up to me, like my reaction is always like, no, like you should be seeking to do the thing that like other people would look up to. Like when I look up to people, I look up to like artists and like performers and things like that, and like people that really like, I guess what it is like I don't really necessarily see what I'm doing as a talent, because all I really do is be myself and play video games. But So it's a little weird, and it's definitely something that when you're just making videos isolated in a room, you can forget that there's people that look up to you. But basically, I guess I hope I do a good job. I hope I lead by example enough, and it's honestly extremely. This is so cliche to say, I guess, but it truly is really humbling to know that people look up to me, essentially for just being me. Well, yeah, so thank you for your question. Okay, this is a pretty good one. At Sergeant Ghost 92 says, how would you say in your own words that you've grown as a creator and person since you started making YouTube videos? A couple ways. So I think I've definitely come out of my shell more. You know, I think I've stopped worrying so much about how I come off or how I appear and whatnot. I think I've become more self-aware, aware of the things that I say and I do, and how my words might affect other people, because I think I've had to become hypersensitive to that since there's such a huge audience watching me. And I think I've learned to stop taking myself so seriously, and I think I really have Smosh to thank for that, because they put me in a lot of ridiculous situations, and I think I had to learn very quickly that, like, hey, like, it doesn't matter, you know, stop worrying so much how you come off, stop worrying so much how, like, whether people laugh at you or not. So I definitely think I've started taking myself way less seriously, which is a big help, and I've become more aware of myself. I also think that I've hopefully become a better entertainer. At DBBZL, Dbzol says, best topping for a pizza, kissy face. I'm a plain cheese guy for the most part, but my favorite toppings, if I'm putting toppings on my pizza, are pepperoni and jalapeno. That combination, for some reason, is so delicious. My mouth is literally watering just thinking about it. At Alex21969558 says, if you had to match personality to video games, who would Mari, Wes, Lasercorn, Flitz, and Joven be? Mari's got to be some kind of like warrior or something. So, like one of the new Tomb Raider games for Mari, maybe. She legit is an actual like adventurer. Dude, every girl on Tinder's like, I like to go on adventures. No, they don't. Mari likes to go on adventures. She freaking climbs glaciers and mountains and goes scuba diving and she's on Survivor and crap. So like maybe one of the new Tomb Raider games, or I could say like Hellblade. Like she's like fiercely goes toward her goals. Wes is easy. Wes is like Resident Evil. He's basically the embodiment of Leon Kennedy. Lasercorn is also easy. I'd say Bulletstorm, because he just likes things that are ridiculous and over the top and crazy. Flitz, I don't even know if Flitz ever skated, but I want to say like Tony Hawk Pro Skater for Flitz. He's just very agile and like I think he actually likes like that kind of like rock music and stuff too. And then what game would Joven be? Man, Booger Man. Do you remember that old Sega game, Booger Man? No, I don't know. Smite? At Amuro Gabe says, what were your favorite moments from Smosh Summer / Winter Games that you took part in, and what didn't you like about them? Okay, so favorite moments. First of all, I always loved Winter Games better. I don't know why. I just liked being up in a cabin with everyone. It was just like this very family vibe. The camaraderie was awesome. So yeah, just being up in the cabin with everyone was so much fun. We had this night where we first discovered Quiplash. We were just playing like late into the night, just like having a blast, just getting more and more tired and just having more stupid answers and just laughing our asses off. It was so much fun. That's honestly like one of my fondest Smosh Games memories in general. And what didn't I like about them? So I think it was the first or second Winter Games. It might have been the second one. We had to have all vegan food because Anthony's vegan and we wanted to like, you know, be nice to him. But man, everyone was farting like crazy with that vegan food. It was just farts and poops all weekend long. Because, you know, none of us are really used to eating that vegan food. So it was, everyone was pretty farty. At Destiny_Roche says, what's your playlist for those late night cardio workouts? Honestly, this sounds so stupid, but literally every single time I do a cardio workout, I listen to Enter the Wu-Tang. It's just like that upbeat, like like raw hip-hop music. I don't know, that kind of stuff is what I tend to listen to. Even if it's not Wu-Tang, like that style of hip-hop is what I like to listen to while I'm running or working out or whatever. At Smosh X Squad says, what is a video game you are excited for this year? The Last of Us 2 obviously is supposed to come out in 2019. That game I'm incredibly excited for. And other than that, Resident Evil 2 Remake is coming out. I'm sure there's others, but like those are off the top of my head, like the two that I'm definitely the most excited for. So those two games, and then I'm sure people in the comments will remind me of games that I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that one. But Last of Us 2 is like the #1 game that I'm most hyped for sure. At John O the Brave says, what's your favorite thing about MTG? Magic the Gathering. My favorite thing about Magic is building decks. I think that's like one of the coolest things about Magic the Gathering is like being able to like come up with these cool combinations of cards and styles and ways to play. And I think that's like one of the best things about it. Me and Lasercorn used to have this hobby of just like making these ridiculous budget decks that were like probably combo oriented, and they only worked like half the time, but when they worked they could beat anything. And sometimes we would like take the decks to F&M and see what we could do. I remember I made this janky Minotaur deck one time, and I won an F&M just like beating all the tier 1 decks just because I happened to draw really well all night. But I just love building the decks. It's so fun to me to like come up with different strategies and stuff. So I would say that part of MTG, actually building the decks and coming up with them, is definitely my favorite. At Justin R002 says, favorite moment in your entire gaming career? Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a pretty competitive guy, but you also know that I've never been like an actual professional player. So the times that I get to do like YouTuber show matches and stuff are like the closest I ever get to actually being an esports player. And I have to say, one of the most fun things I ever did was playing in the Heroes of the Storm show matches we did, but specifically the second Heroes of the Storm match that we did. We did this janky Abathur Murky strategy, and man, we did so well. It was like this hodgepodge of like random people, but they assembled this group of streamers to like beat us, and then we ended up destroying them. Well, we didn't destroy them. It was actually an incredibly close game with this weird split push Abathur Murky strategy, and winning that game was one of my favorite moments in my gaming career ever, for sure. Okay, at Slickshot Game says, what's your honest opinion on YouTube and the direction the platform has been taking the past few years? Obviously, YouTube has been becoming a more, confusing place the whole time. Algorithmically, things don't tend to make sense. People don't get videos in their inboxes and stuff. I don't think I would ever say that I hate YouTube or something like that, but I definitely feel like the platform has been moving in a direction that is less friendly to creators, and that bugs me, obviously. It bugs me that I have, and you're gonna see this, I have 418,000 subscribers, and maybe this video will get like 10k views or something, and that doesn't really make sense. It makes sense that not all 418,000 people would see the video, but what doesn't make sense is like only 10% or like 1% of that number seeing the video. And I regularly get people in my comment section saying stuff like, I didn't even know you still made videos, or that kind of thing, and that part really bugs me. I just wish there was some way to reach the people that had clicked on my channel to say that they want to see my videos, and let them all know that I'm still making videos now. There was a while when I wasn't making videos, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, that's due to some stuff with Defy Media that I can't really talk about right just yet, but I will be talking about in the future. And those periods where I didn't make videos really hurt my channel, and I just wish there was some way to sort of reset things and turn the switch back on so that people could see my videos again. But for those of you that are here, I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. Alright guys, that's kind of all the time we have for questions today. Thank you guys so much that responded to the thread. It really means a lot that you guys took the time to ask your questions. I know I didn't get to everybody, but I feel like this video has already been going on for a long time, so we're definitely going to do more of these in the future. If I didn't answer your question, I'll tweet out again and you can definitely ask me again, but that's going to do it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A session, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!